Nitro World Order.
Nitro World Order.
What's up, Nitrogang? I'm out here with Nitrogang member Irfan.
How you doing, guys?
I see you're holding a giant Nitro monster truck.
This is the OFNA TWIN Titan.
Twin Titan?
Yeah, I believe this came out in 2003.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're correct, because I did my research before you showed up with this.
Oh, I'm sure.
This is a very rare truck. Why don't we put it down, because it's a little bit heavy, right?
Sure.
Let's give the viewers a little bit of an overview on this. So guys, I am going to be restoring this, doing a little bit of work. This is kind of a gem, a unicorn of an RC. This is a Twin Titan, and why do they call it a twin? Because it's got 2.26 size engines. I looked it up. This is rated at 5 horsepower. Now keep in mind, modern engines today, they make a lot of power for these motors, but back then, this was a top-notch big block motor. So as you would expect, you have twin everything right there, twin missing air filters. But Irfan, did you bring us some air filters?
Yeah, this one.
Okay. Yeah, so, okay, so we're gonna put these on. Now, the overall perception of this thing is, it's super cool. Twin shocks, giant wheels. I could tell it's probably been sitting for a long time.
Yeah, it's got the flat
it's got a flat spot there. The truck is too heavy. But hey, I kind of like that. The bigger, the better. Does that look like a 2-speed to you?
Yes, it is. 2-speed, baby.
That's right. So we're going to be yelling 2-speed twin motor, baby, right? And dual pipes as well.
Yep.
Man, this is going to be interesting to tune. But I'm sure we'll get it, because you basically have to start these one at a time. That's how it works.
Okay.
When I found out Irfan here was gonna give this to the channel for me to do some work on, because this might be the only chance I ever get to work on a twin nitro motor truck, I dug up a couple of my old RC magazines, and this one is from 2003. I was hoping maybe, just maybe, I could find a little bit of something about this in the magazine. So I have myself an index right here. Unfortunately, I only found the single nitro motor version of this truck, but it is the Titan RTR. Now, I did my research so far, and this is just a preliminary look. I did not find anything about the twin nitro motor version. Now, during this time frame, there were a lot of twin nitro trucks. There was the Kyosho Giga Crusher, there was the Hot Bodies Truckzilla. Mostly, they were just kits that you assembled and installed onto the chassis itself. I will do more research, and we'll get down to the bottom of this matter. In terms of electronics, Irfan here brought a brand new FlySky GT3B. Very good radio, because you don't want to run these giant trucks on the old systems, you know what I mean? He also brought me a couple gifts. This is a Novarossi quick fill fuel thing. I have to kind of figure out how this works, but it looks like there is a trigger mechanism here. Very cool. And you pour some fuel, you know, kind of like a pit stop. More on this later, just kind of checking it out myself. And of course, he didn't forget about the gas gang. He's also brought me a very nice pipe. I actually need one of these, because I keep getting used gas RCs with pipes missing. Usually that's because the owners wind up stripping the exhaust port bolts, and then they throw the pipe out. I've experienced that multiple times so far. I see you also traveled with a cool vintage Indy style car. What's this?
Okay, so I believe this is an OFNA. I am not sure what exact model it is.
Yeah.
But sorry, I don't have a filter, so
oh no, that's a good idea. I do that too. Yeah, there's nothing else you could do.
And I mean, the car is pretty clean if you see the bottom.
Oh yeah, it's super clean. No runtime, no damage on that chassis at all.
So
the wheels are like new.
Yep.
Feels like there's foam in there, right?
Yeah, there. And this.
The Polestar, how's the Polestar? Oh, we got compression.
A lot of.
You're telling me we got compression? I like that.
I believe the battery box.
Yeah, we'll probably go over there, the receiver box. I see it's got JR servos. They're pretty great. The Losis used to use them straight from the factory.
Okay.
The front here has some suspension. I could see it's built in. Not bad. I gotta say, pretty unique on-road design. Oh, this motor, I could see it's a Force model, so it's a Force, probably a Force 12 size engine, I don't know. But they were pretty good back in the day. What do you know about this cooling head? Do you know why it's so flat like this?
Sorry, I do not.
So I did some research on this, and this is purely for lower air resistance, right? Because
Gotcha.
you don't want the cooling head to like stick up like this and then it goes way outside the body.
Right.
So clearly air resistance, kind of like airplanes.
Right.
But very cool. No stripped gears, that's already a positive. Honestly, very rare that you see rear wheel drive, kind of like, I don't want to call this direct drive. Can you hold this wheel? I want to see if there's a diff. Okay, so there is a diff inside here. Yeah, okay, so it's not a fully direct drive system. Yeah, no stripped gears, very nice. Man, you got some awesome vintage RCs right here.
Yeah.
Even the body, it's pretty good. I'm gonna wash this in the sink. That's kind of like a ritual I do. The first thing I do when I get an RC is I wash the body in the sink with some soap. I'm not even kidding.
That's the way to go.
I may in fact put some pictures in this video later of me doing it tonight before I even record any follow-ups here. Sure. Man, this thing is cool. Force 3.5. I wonder why it says 3.5, because the block, that would mean it's a 0.21. 3.5 cc is a 0.21, but the top says 26. I think at this time, basically they used the same blocks and probably just, you know, had different size pistons and cylinders, because the math otherwise does not add up. Right. 3.5 is a 0.21, right? Well, that's off the for you. What could I tell you? It's a mystery as usual. Yeah, but otherwise it is complete. That is good to hear. It's gonna be a mystery tuning these, but the Nitrogang is on it, dude. We're on it. Guys, I'm hyped. I got myself a dual nitro motor, dual pipe, dual gas tank, 2-speed monster truck right here in my hands. I washed the body in the sink. I gotta say, during the washing process, I discovered a lot of interesting details about this body. Now, I will say that the front design here, it's a little bit funny looking. This looks like some kind of design from, I would say, like a Kia Sportage or a Kia Sorento from like over 15 years ago. But they did outdo themselves with these functional, well, not really functional because they're not actually powered, but you can move them, the windshield wipers. You guys see that? They actually move. There's nothing you could do to them. That'll make them fall off. They're attached to the back of the body. And also, we have what looks like antennas here in the back of the truck body. Very nice truck setup. So we have dual antennas coming out here. We have a relatively realistic looking roll cage here for the body. I gotta say, the accessories for this time frame on a monster truck for a body from OFNA is very nice. You know, today everything is about these body accessories for electric crawlers. Well, OFNA was putting on relatively functional wipers over 15 years ago at this point. Oh, this thing's actually kind of heavy. Here is the chassis. It's a lot of aluminum. What do you want me to tell you? Let's remove the body and talk a little bit more. So this is, you know, it's obviously going to be a fairly lengthy, in-depth process for me. But this is the kind of stuff I like. This might be my only chance, probably ever, to work on a dual nitro motor truck like this. So let's check out what we got going on. We have dual fuel tanks, of course, dual pipes, dual force 0.26 size engines. So at the time you had like a force 21, then you had a force 25. Basically, you just saw a different number on the cooling head and you just took their word for it. Because we already saw that the block, it says 3.5. So I don't think I'm going to investigate that any further because I probably will not like where I wind up. The shocks here are original. They're threaded body, aluminum shocks. Very nice. Although I gotta say, they are a little puny looking for this size of a chassis. But when you saw this up against its competition, relatively at that time, these are still all 8th scale nitro trucks. Don't think that just because this is a dual engine setup here, it's gonna be like substantially larger. It is actually taller, I will admit that, and the wheels are fairly wide. These are pretty nice wide wheels. I don't know how I'm able to fit all of these giant monster trucks together in one scene, but I'm gonna manage to actually get a good little description of the size of this OFNA Twin Titan compared to all these other ones. These are some of the biggest, some of the best, Nitro monster trucks that money could have ever purchased. The HPI Savage XL, the one with a 3-speed baby. Of course, we have the awesome t-maxx 3.3, the brand new Savage X 4.6, one of my all-time favorites, the Tamiya Terra Crusher, the star of the show, the OFNA TWIN Titan, associated MGT 8.0, and over here we have a never-before RC seen on my channel. This is the HPI Trophy Truggy Flux. Now, hopefully, I'll be able to get the Nitro version because this electric here doesn't really fit with this crowd. You know what I'm saying? This is all about that Nitro. If I add up all the speeds here, we're going to get like a 20-speed baby. But either way, let's take a close look. In terms of wheel size, the OFNA TWIN Titan here, it matches, I would say, these Proline Big Joes. The only obvious difference I see is the height of the OFNA. Look at how much taller the Twin Titan is compared to the Terra Crusher. It's even taller than the associated MGT 8.0. And that's a .50 size helicopter engine. Technically, if you add up both of those .26, you get a .52, which means it's more displacement than this .50 Team Associated Thunder Tiger motor over here. But guys, just a small little look in terms of size comparisons with some of these other Nitro monster trucks, other than that HPI. That's not a Nitro, but it's electric. We'll forget of it just, in this one case. t-maxx 3.3, surprisingly, could still hang with this group, believe it or not. And they call that a 10 scale, guys. I mean, yeah, it is a 10 scale compared to the Savage XL, but that's an XL. That's not a really fair comparison. Let's take a close look at how this drivetrain is set up. So clearly we have two motors. Each has to be individually started. There is a roto start backplate on both of these. You could use the HPI drill start. It'll be fine. What makes this dual motor setup interesting, and if you guys haven't seen this before, is a lot of engineering here to get two Nitro motors, two carbs, working all off of one throttle servo. So we have one linkage here going to both of these carbs. You could see there is a throttle linkage going to both. Now, I noticed that one of these is a little bit seized because I cannot get it to really open up the carb over here on one of them. So I'm going to have to take a look. I cannot get this one to open up the Venturi at all. Look at this gear right here. I don't want to call it a helical cut gear, but you could clearly see it's cut on a diagonal. So it's not like a straight cut gear like the pinion, and the spur. Yes, this has the 2-speed. Of course, we have dual disc brakes here. Other than that, it is basically similar to a regular Nitro truck, other than you have two of everything. 2 tanks, a lot of extra fuel lines, 2 fuel filters, of course. And I did notice, look at this upper chassis strut over here. So today, Arma, they think that they're like somehow super cool. They have this tower-to-tower brace. Well, this is a 2003 OFNA monster truck. And check these braces out. Arma, what do you think about that, Arma? There it is, your first look and overview of this classic vintage, probably once in a lifetime type of an RC. A dual Nitro monster truck. You know what I'm saying? I'm honestly privileged and honored that my friend, a member of the Nitrogang, Irfan, let me work on this. This thing is fairly expensive. I was just checking eBay, and there is a very similar one, obviously a little more upgraded than this one, selling for about $3,000. Now, it doesn't mean that the guy will get $3,000. Generally, most of these dual engine trucks, this includes the Kyosho Giga Crusher, some of the Hot Bodies Truckzillas, some of the HPI Savage conversions. They sell for about like $700 to $800 to $900 on average in okay condition. So that's still fairly expensive, but you got to keep in mind this thing, and I did some research in forums. People were saying that this was selling to close to $1,000 when it was new. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a confirmed listing from back when this was new. If you guys have any additional info, put it in the comments. I might include it in a follow-up video because we're going deep on this one. This is going to be running, and then when I show up to the RC track with this, they're going to be asking, is that a 2-cylinder? And I'm going to say, it's a 2-speed, twin engine, Nitro big block monster truck. Make sure to subscribe if you're a new viewer. This is going to be interesting. See you later.